Hello guys, and welcome back to my channel. And today I'm going to be talking about the London session, and we're going to be going over things that I've learned through trading it for quite a long time now, and how to help you if you're starting to trade the London session. Now, the first thing that you need to identify is so this is New York now. Let's just zoom out a bit more. So the first thing that I like doing in the morning is obviously I'm getting at Forex Factory. So there we go. We do this. Easy stuff, repetitive, and it gets you used to this, and you can see the news. If there's any news, I could skew your positions, and then when we've done that, I look at the higher time frame. So for example, today I had trades, so this is the 6 a.m. candle, and so this is the one I was working on, and I could see at the start we were very bullish, weren't we? We can see very bullish. So I like to be with the trend. Now also I looked at the daily, and I looked at the daily. The daily was also very bullish at the time. And then the second thing that I like doing is, so we were at this candle, so forget about these these three candles here. We're on this candle, and the first thing that I wanted to do is I do this. I do a horizontal line, and I do this when the 4 hour flips bearish, just so I know if we start coming back to this zone, higher time frames are starting to change direction, which could cause some problems here. So I'd put it right there, so you can see this candle here. If the low is exceeded there, it's going to start turning bearish. Great. So then now I'll drop down to the lower time frames. Now forget about all of this stuff here. I'm focusing on here. So I wake up in the morning and I see straight away this 6 a.m. candle right here, bullish. We're starting to make some support on this kind of area here, which is looking good. And yeah, this candle's closed bullish, and it was making its lower wick when I started the morning. So I'm like, okay, so the higher time frames are starting to point up and bullish, so I kind of want to be in that trade if we stay above these kind of areas. Now, when we started breaking up here, you can see I was looking for buys pretty much instantly, and we dropped down to the 15-minute time frame. This is how I sometimes get entries, and you can see here, right? So forget about all this stuff here. We're focusing on this part here, right here. So we started breaking up, we started closing bullish, and I actually took an impulse entry when we started exceeding these candles here on this candle here on the 7 a.m. And the reason why I did that is because I knew I wanted to get in early, because we're starting to make support on this kind of here. So if we do this, we drop down, you can see this sort of area here. It's starting to make support, and then we're starting to come off, and now we look left and we try and find, targets. First target would be here, so I did this in the mornings, and the only reason why I wanted to go for bearish signs is if we start passing these lows here and start closing below, to try and fill these wicks. Well, not fill these wicks, sorry, fill this range up here. So that's what I said to people on my Discord chat when I'm doing these live streams. Now you can see here, we had this resistance here, which was respected. Now what I wanted to teach people is this. So this bit here, you can see what time frame this is at. This is Asian. Now from my past experiences, Asian, the markets are a bit skew with. They don't really give me much confidence in where their direction is. So I know a lot of people would have actually said, look, there's a resistance here, I don't want to be in it until we start closing above, which is fair enough. You can take that trade fine. But I was happy to take a trade here when we're starting to when we actually closed above here and we start exceeding these wicks, because this is the resistance that we clearly had just before at 6 a.m., which gives me more of a bias. Whereas this Asian session, it doesn't really give me much confidence at all, because I've seen them pass, which I'll show you. It's very skew, and it could actually, it could be a missing trade, because people would be like, oh, this is resistance here. But yeah, so I had buys when we started exceeding this wick here. I had a stop loss over this previous wick, and yeah, I actually did have quite a bit of drawdown. I actually cut out some because I thought it was coming to my stop, but actually it was just a lower wick being made, which normally I wait time for until we start pushing. So I got in a bit early, so now on my journal I'm going to be like, right Max, this is a good trade, but I didn't get in earlier. So this is what happens at 7 a.m. and because I've been looking at and doing this so much, I know from 7 till 8 we start getting nice runs. Okay, so this is why most of the Londoners who like trading this time is the best time, just before London Open, and I'll talk about London Open in a second. So then we start blasting off. We look left now. Let's have a look. The next resistance is up here, isn't it? You can see, and that's exact. Oh, I'll do it again. and you can see that is exactly where we tapped up here. I took profits at 10 pips, and then I actually took some runners as well. So overall I got basically 20-30 pips overall just from that move here, because I expected prices to start pushing because of the higher time frames, and that's exactly what I got. And just so people know how I trade, you know, I would have got my 10 pips up here, and then my runners would have run, and I would have been at break even. So that's great. Now, what I want to give people instruction for London is, because I've done it for so many times, I can see stuff. So for example, I tell my students on the Discord chat, if you're not in a trade by 8 AM, don't trade at all, wait until 8 AM starts. And this is reasons why. I'll show you on numerous occasions here. So you can see 7, 7:15, 7:30 had a bit of a pullback, fair enough, 7:45 blasted, and 8 o'clock blasted, great. But now people will be starting to enter here at 8 o'clock expecting price to push even further, when actually the move has already been gone. And you can see here now, 8:15 starts to reject, 8:30 pulls back, and you can see it pulled back straight away. This is quite a big one, and what I expect when I do these trades is 8 AM, when it starts doing it, it starts maybe pushing a bit, but then it starts pulling back quite heavily from 8 till 8:15. And this is just from past stuff. So for example, I'll do like last week's or something. Let's have a look. Let's have a look here, see if you have any. Let's have a look. Look. Yes, so you can see here, right, guys? We can see we're making bullish signs here, and we've passed resistance here. So buys when this closed above is quite nice, and yeah, you would have got a nice little 10 pips there. Beautiful. Now that's why I take some profits, because fair enough, we've got our 10 pips. We need to get some profits here. Take some profits off. Now you can see the 8 AM candle here. 7:45 relaxed pullback. This one pulled back heavy. Like people have been trying to enter these buys just before 8 o'clock, and it does that. And then we start continuing in the bullish. This has happened. I'll show you other times. I'm literally going back like on this week. I don't need any proof. You know, I can just see it. You can see here we had a clear range. This is awful. I remember this day. And let's see what happened. So you can see, we're just ranging on this. 7:45, 8 o'clock, yeah, so it's complete range. That's a bad example. Let me show you a better one. Let's go further on. Here is a really good one. So I was looking for sells again, because I think the higher time frames were bearish. You can see like a sort of resistance is there. When we start exceeding these lows and passing them, we were fine with stop loss above here. Now you can see I was taking profits. Let's have a look. Yes, I was getting in some nice profits here. Took profits at 10 pips, etc, etc. Now you can see this is the move, right? 7 AM, really good. This is why I trade from 7 AM till 8 really. And now you can see 7:45, 8 pulls up, 8:15 pulls up, and then this is not good. This is when people are trying to enter thinking that 8 AM's got volume and stuff like that. I like getting in before, and this is the reason. I'm showing you proof and evidence why. 8 AM pulls back up, and then we start the descent again. But this is not what I want to be in. So yeah, this is my advice for people who trade in London. Get in your trades at 7, 7:15, 7:30, 7:45, whatever. But when it comes to 8 o'clock, your stop should be at break even, or you shouldn't be in a trade, because the pullback is really aggressive. Like that, I've got proof. So that's what I would advise for London. But yeah, if you go back and back test 7 AM candles, I mean, it's just ridiculous. I mean, let's have a look again. Let's see if there's any. Let's go. See again. 6:45, 7 blasts up again. It's a very good place to trade at the 7 AM. And then you can see here, right, so blasting up, 7:15 starts to relax, 7:30, 7:45 pushes again, so really good trades. 8 o'clock pulls back, 8:15 pulls back, then we start exceeding again. So this is why I trade 7 AM and 8 AM before 8 AM, and I think you guys should look at it as well. That's just a little proof of how I trade for the Londons. So I hope you enjoyed it. I want to keep these sessions and YouTube stuff really quick and snappy to keep you engaged. But yeah, that's how I trade London. So I hope you enjoyed. This is on GJ, by the way, which is the only pair I trade, because it keeps it easy, keeps it simple. And yeah, I hope you guys enjoyed the video. See you in a bit.